What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Purple Shade Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, as you know, Mikey Nungchuck. Along with my brother, Tori Son. What's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing much, man. Nothing
Another big
much.
weekend of football. Prime time this week for the Ravens. Anyway, we'll get to the Vikings. You know, that was some offensive malpractice. You know, the defense acted like they didn't know what they were doing out there. But I said it last week. That was going to be a tough game. But we'll get to that in a minute. The Ravens, on the other hand, they took care of business. Beat the Buccaneers 41-31, and it wasn't even that close. It really wasn't. What you think?
No, it wasn't that close. I don't know what was going on at the end of that game with those Buccaneers. I mean, even those commentators were saying, hey, man, you just got to know when it's over and just live to fight another day. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, they got 2 onside kicks and everything and whatnot, but I mean, what were you really doing? It's like, what were they trying to achieve? The game was already won. I mean, the Ravens had a 100% win probability at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I don't know, but the game was electrifying for the Ravens, man. I'm talking Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman. That hookup on that drive was ridiculous. Caught him in his stride. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Not to mention Derrick Henry still doing his thing, doing Derrick Henry things.
I gotta ask because when we started this season, we're week 7, by the way. So we're 7 weeks into this. This is episode number 7. You were just a little bit critical of Lamar, you know, his passing and everything. How has he progressed as the years? I mean, as the games went on this year, has he turned you into? Is he turned you into a believer now?
I would say yes, sir, 100%. I mean, the way he's been playing these past few weeks, oh my gosh, man, the accuracy is there. The time for him to get those passes out is there. I totally retract my statement of saying that Lamar Jackson with the teardrop passes needs some work, because it seems like it's there, it is working, it's clicking.
Lamar Jackson this season, I'm not even going to look at the stats. I think I glanced at him earlier today. Almost 70% completion percentage. I think he's at 68 or 69. 15 touchdown passes. Over 1,800 yards passing. 2 picks, which both of them hit off his receiver's hands. One off Bateman's, one off Andrews. And the man has 2 rushing touchdowns. So 17 total on the year. 1,800 yards. Over 1,800 yards passing. I believe over 400 yards rushing already. He's playing better right now than he did in any of his MVP seasons. Now, that's saying something, right? I think in the last few weeks, to your point, he's gotten better because I think his team has stepped up more. Not just Derrick Henry, but Zay, Bateman. Who, bro, what did I say? Rashad Bateman's always open.
He's always open.
He's always open.
Always.
Okay. On that play, man, he ran a post corner and just, it was supposed to be a post corner, but he saw the safety dropped, right? The corner bit on the double move, and he just kept going. And Lamar sat there and said, oh, you doing that? Okay. Here, catch this. Threw a dime in stride. And look, let me tell y'all something. When you see Lamar Jackson sit in that pocket and he just chilling and he's just bouncing, ball in his hand like this, if you're the other team, know something bad about to happen. Something bad is about to happen. We about to put 6 on the board. My man sat back, got the protection. He was chilling. Man, he let that ball go. My arms instantly went up. I knew it, and I knew who it was. Bateman.
8-7.
You know what I'm saying? Bateman, number 7. 7 in the clip. Let's go. Man.
It was a beautiful pass, bro.
Man. Bateman, 7 in the clip. You couldn't do it no better. You couldn't do it no better than that. It was beautiful. It was Lamar last night was poetry in motion. The only issue I had with that offense last night, they started off a little bit slow, but it's okay, right? Because a few years ago, even probably still some people on these 3 and 4 letter networks, even some other fans out there, they don't think that Lamar and the Ravens can come back when they're down. Okay. This was the last night was the second time they were down by double digits this year. They won both games. No. They were down they were down 10, no, more than 10 from the Bengals, right? And then yesterday down 10, they spotted them 10 and then ran off 31 straight. Bro. It was nasty.
I loved every second of it. Every second of it.
And the other thing I didn't like, they got too cute. They got the lead and they got too cute. When they fumbled, and granted, I think that's a fumble on Lamar, if I'm not mistaken. I think they credited Lamar with that fumble, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man. They ran that screen to Zay a couple times. It looked like Lamar got a little lazy with the pass. They were up. They were kind of just having fun. But you can't do that against the great teams. I'm not saying Tampa Bay is not a good team, because they are. They were 4-2. They came in 4-2, right? They had beat who everybody's in the NFC, who everybody's picking in the NFC now, Detroit, since they beat Minnesota. Now Detroit's the big team in the NFC. San Francisco's throwing up all over themselves, right? They're losing people left and right. But they had beat Detroit. They had beat the Saints. Like, they had beaten some good teams. Tampa Bay did. So they were a good team. They got a little too cute. And I don't like that. Don't get too cute. Okay? Run the ball. Just keep running your offense, right? And you don't have those miscues. But other than that, brother, there's nothing to complain about. I'm not even going to complain about the defense. And a lot of people will. Again, if you, and I really don't watch too many of the 3 and 4 letter networks. Sometimes I'll see stuff come on the feed and I'll see what they said. They have a lot of concerns about the defense, but I'm going to tell you like this. They gave up 10 and then they clamped. The Buccaneers weren't getting anything until the end of the game. You did give up 21 points in the third quarter. You can't do that. You can't get too relaxed.
That's right.
When the offense is just scoring at will. You can't get too relaxed, right? And I think they did. I think that, okay, we got this. We got this. Can't do that. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't. But they did. Okay. It was a little nervous. I got a little nervous, right? As we always do when we got a big lead. Third and fourth quarter, man. It's like, oh, God, here we go. But they pulled it out. Big win on the road. I'll take it. Right? Got to shore that defense up, though. We'll get to your boy in a second. We'll get to your boy in a second.
Get to him?
We'll talk about the defense.
I mean, like, real quick, to your point about that, I mean, I'm looking at the numbers right now. Yeah, the Buccaneers got a 10-point lead in the first quarter. Okay, that's cool. And, the Ravens got 17 points in the second quarter, another 17 points in the third quarter. Buccaneers still quiet. But then you get to the fourth quarter, and what you said, how they just got too relaxed. Hey, we got a big lead. Let's just sit on it. They let the Buccaneers score 21 points in the fourth quarter.
That's what I said. Well, I'm sorry. I said the third quarter. I meant the fourth quarter. Yeah.
Right. That shouldn't happen. It doesn't matter if you got a 40-point lead on them. Like, come on. You don't just. I don't know if it's about ratings or anything. Maybe, they didn't want to turn the game off because, the Buccaneers are getting blown out. Like, okay, it's the Buccaneers. Not a great team. I say they're a decent team, but it's like, just looking at this, it's like, come on, Ravens. I mean, fourth quarter, 21 points. I mean, you dominated all game, and that's something we still struggle with. Like, to this day, it's like when we get a big lead, we just cannot. And I still, It's the old ball and chain. We still can't just keep the foot on the gas, keep our foot on their necks. Gotta, let's play safe. And you know what? Maybe that was to the credit. Let's play safe. At the end of the fourth quarter, they put their secondary in. You know what I mean? So, hey, give those guys some play time. We got this in the bag. But still, 21 points is a lot. Like you said, it got a little nervous at the end. Like, hey guys, what are you doing? Like, you just turned this 41-18 to 41-31. What is that? It doesn't make sense to me. I was mind boggled. Was I afraid they were going to lose? Not so much. But the fact that it was a blowout, looking at the score, not so much now. Beginning of the third quarter, legitimate blowout. Like, come on. I couldn't understand it.
I mean, yeah, when you start the fourth quarter and it's 34-10, again, context matters, right? As a defense, you're going to sit back because they're going to throw the ball, okay? But before that, I mean, they were gashing the Ravens, right? I mean, I don't want to we'll talk about this when we get to defense, right?
Okay.
But again, echoing kind of what we both said, you can't just start giving up points at the end because sometimes it'll bite you. Right? They got an onside kick, which again,
two onside kicks.
No, they only got one.
I thought they got two.
We recovered the other one.
Oh, okay.
No, we recovered the other one. The Ravens have given up two this year, one in Dallas, one in Tampa.
There it is. Yep.
It's the only two onside kicks that have been recovered in the NFL this year.
And they belong to the Ravens.
Both of them has been against the Ravens. That's beyond concerning, especially for a coach. Do I have to say his name? Who's supposed to be a special teams specialist.
How about that?
I don't, you know what? I don't even talk about that dude today. I'm off that. I'm off of that. But again, look, big win. I'll take it. Lamar looked fantastic. Yeah, man. I mean, getting into the offense.
Let's do it.
I mean, getting to the offense. I mean, this is the easy part, man. Lamar and Henry. But that should be like a candy bar. Give me a Lamar and Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a 1-2 punch, and it's. Go ahead. It's.
Real quick. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Real quick, you're 100% right. Lamar and Henry. I got to give a little bit of credit to Rashad Bateman. 4 catches, 121 yards.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just talking about. I mean, I was gonna get to the receivers. I was gonna get to Bate.
No, do your thing.
No, I mean, yeah. Again, I mean, so many guys showed up, and Bateman's been showing up the last couple of games.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But man, as good. This team only goes as good as Lamar goes. But in recent years, the one thing he was always lacking was that running back. They've been the most prolific running team the last 5 seasons. But he's never had a guy like Derrick Henry who can take it 80 yards on a carry.
250 pounds.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Lamar did his thing. 17 for 22.
Right.
281. Jackson 5 touchdowns.
That's right. I think he's close to breaking a record for that too.
Yeah, he was a couple fraction points away from a perfect passer rating. You know what I mean? And Derrick Henry, bro, every week, just give him the ball, give him his carries. He only had 15 this week. You're going to be disappointed with that. $1.69.
I can't be disappointed with that. Actually, $1.69.
That's ridiculous.
11.
Again, to your point, Rashad Bateman, 121 yards. One of the most beautiful deep plays, that we've seen this year from the Ravens. And that I'm glad you brought up Bateman because this was going to be a Bateman rant for me because I've been saying this for the last few weeks. Bateman is always open. People have been talking bad about Bateman. I think the kid's a good damn receiver. I think he's a number one. You got to give him a chance. You got to give him a chance. And again, in this offense, it seems like now they want to make Zay the number one. Okay. But you got to draw up some plays for Rashad, man. The dude's always open. He gets the best separation in the league, and you saw it last night. When Zay got hurt, you saw, okay, well, look, it's bait time. 2 deep plays yesterday, right? But that's who Rashad is. Rashad Bateman's our deep threat, where Zay is the all-purpose, right? Zay can beat you going across the middle. He can beat you on the screen. He can catch Zay's the dude who can catch the ball 5 yards and take it 70, right? Not saying Rashad can't do that, but Rashad's just the guy who's going to beat you for 70, like we saw last night.
Yes, he did.
Right?
Yes.
He's the down the field threat. He'll kill you down the field
in the game,
right? And then Zay just run, Zay just gets open, at will himself. But then he'll just shake you out your cleats, and then you're just sitting there grasping for air, But man, this offense, the offensive line held up pretty well. The first 2 drives were bad. They gave up a couple sacks, but they hunkered down after that. Ronnie Stanley hasn't given up a sack all year. My man is back. I said that in week 2. I saw it. Ronnie Stanley's back. He's killing it. I don't think he's given up a pressure or a sack all year. Our left tackle, we have the best left tackle in football right now. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, he's doing his thing.
Tell me I'm wrong. Best left tackle in football. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I love that so much. Oh my God.
Seriously. Oh, and we also have the MVP. Come on. Bro, what did I say a few weeks ago? Lamar Jackson is the best player in football. Period.
Yeah. No, he is. He's amazing. I got it. Man, 91.
Look, brother, I got it wrong when I said he was one of one. He's one of none.
One of none.
There is nobody else out there like Lamar. In the history of this game, there's been nobody like Lamar. He's evolved into exactly what we were hoping he would evolve into, right?
No, that's right. Yeah.
But not because he couldn't. It's because now they want to realize, man, what have we been doing the last few years? Why in the heck were we allowing Greg Roman to just handicap this kid? It's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. But you will have people out there preying on his downfall. And again, a lot of teams will. They'll still call him a running back, all this other stuff. But it's because you don't have him.
You think that's why they let that helmet to helmet go?
If that was anybody else, there's a few names I can run off. I'm not even going to do it because anybody in the chat, please tell me if I'm wrong. If that's anybody named Allen, Burrow, or especially Mahomes, that's a penalty. That's a penalty. And for all you people who say, "Oh, he was a runner," give me a second. I'm gonna pull up the rule. I got the rule. Let me tell you the rule real quick, so the people in the back can hear it. Okay, seriously. Let me tell you the rule. This is the rule. The NFL rule. Use of the helmet. Period. This is for everybody, not just anybody who's a runner. Use of the helmet is a foul if a player lowers his head and makes forcible contact with his helmet against an opponent or uses any part of his helmet or face mask to butt or make forcible contact to an opponent's head or neck. These provisions do not prohibit incidental contact by the mask or the helmet in the course of a conventional tackle or block on an opponent. It doesn't say, there's no stipulation here that says, oh, if you're a runner, it says if a player lowers his head and makes forcible contact with his helmet to the head or neck area of an opponent. Period.
No, that's right. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that how they get a low blocking call.
It's a penalty.
I'm looking at the refs.
I'm looking at the NFL.
Same team.
Because I saw Mahomes against the 49ers, and I saw how scared they were scared to tackle this dude. They let the Pillsbury Doughboy run down the sideline like going 3 miles an hour. I mean, they act like they were scared to touch him, and they probably were. They ain't want that fine. But you won't hit that dude. But y'all will kill Lamar Jackson. I see what time it is with y'all. I see what time it is. You'll hurt the MVP. You'll hurt that man. But y'all won't touch Mahomes. I see what time it is with y'all. But again, that's because you know Mahomes won't beat you like Lamar will. Lamar will embarrass you. He will. He'll put you on a poster, and y'all don't like that. But that's okay. That's okay.
On a milk
He'll keep
carton.
collecting hardware. Right. You'll come up missing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's ridiculous, right?
Right.
But I mean, look, you saw what he did, bro. He got right up, he talked this stuff, and kept rolling.
That's it.
You can't hurt me, jerk. Well, what he say? You can't hurt me, jerk. Lamar's a machine. Again, I told y'all, Lamar's John Wick. All these other dudes, they just some fake assassins.
That's it.
You can't kill that man.
They stand
You
it.
can't take him out. Right. You can't take him out. You know.
Fillers.
But man, the offense balled out, man. You know, besides the slow start, you know, Todd Monken getting a little cute, you know, when they had that turnover, I believe it was in the second quarter, you know, and they started scoring. Other than those two things, there's nothing bad you can say. They were rolling. They put up 41. They put up 41 points against a good defense. That's a good Buccaneers, Todd Bowles defense, and they put up 41 points.
No, that's right.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else to say.
Well, I got a little bit to say, guys. Let's talk about just, you know, a little bit more statistics about it. Like he said, Lamar Jackson, 17 for 22 on his pass attempts. Amazing. 281 yards, 5 touchdown game. Amazing. 91.9 QB rating. And I mean, I'm not talking bad about my man Baker Mayfield, but I mean, he's sitting over there at 21.5. Better than next week, champ. Derrick Henry, 15 carries, 169, 11.3 yards a clip. That's unstoppable. That's first down every run, you know, period. That's just the way that goes. I'm sorry. Lamar Jackson, 9 carries for 52 yards. There's still a little bit of ladder run, Lamar. We would definitely like to see you more in that pocket, especially if we know that those guys are trying to take you out. It's just, I know you're man of steel, tough as nails. Just stay healthy. That's all I can say.
I would like to see Justice get some of those carries.
I would too. I mean, Justice Hill. You want to talk about Justice Hill? 5 carries, 4 yards. I mean, he had a kind of a quiet night. Besides, he had 3 receptions.
To that point, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. To that point, you saw Justice's stat line in the rushing. We need to stop being so predictable when he's in the game.
Right.
He's almost whenever he's in the game, they know we're going to pass. They need to get him more involved in the running game so that you can keep this defense honest, right?
Right.
Because when Derrick Henry's in the game, they're going to play the run. They may get burned, but they're going to play the run because they like, oh, you can't let Derrick go off, which he will eventually. But, you know, he has to be able to come in the game and be a threat to run also, or else, you know, you're never gonna take this offense to the height where it should be if you don't keep defenses honest, right?
No, that's
you
right.
have to. He has to be more involved in the running game. I like to see some of those carries that Lamar had. Please give him the Justice.
Yeah,
let him do his job. Let him do his job. Although I'm sorry, I can't leave out Justice Hill. I forgot about him. He has been so vital to the success, right? Lamar runs in the touchdown. They call it back. That was just a fake holding call. But he said, okay, you know what? Lamar said, okay, chill. All right, guys, come back. Justice. Screen. Most beautiful screen I've ever seen in my life. Everybody, 5 guys came at Lamar. They had the whole offensive line out in front of Justice Hill. You couldn't take that screen and put it on an instructional football video to show kids this is how you run a screen. That was beautiful.
Well, no, that's right. And I take back what I said. In the run game, Justice Hill did definitely had a quiet night, but he still had 3 receptions for 44 yards. Not to mention a touchdown, averaged about 14.7 yards a reception through the air, which is not bad, but still to your credit about having Justice Hill in there on some credible rushing plays, and for him to actually be a threat. The Ravens could actually get back to being that 3-headed monster. I mean, it'd be a little unique with Lamar Jackson being the third runner, but still, they would regain that title. But also, a Mark Andrews sighting. I mean, a couple Mark Andrews sighting. I mean,
2 touchdowns.
Right. Four receptions, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns. I feel like Mark Andrews is getting back into his groove. He is close, very close to 100% out there doing his thing. He's catching those passes as they come, as Lamar's targeting him. He looks good. Even Nelson Aguilar, he had a pass for 20 yards. He's still active, people. He's still out there. You know, can't count him out. Even Likely got a piece of the action. 2 passes for 17 yards. Not bad for him. Even Charlie Kohler, 1 pass was 14 yards, man. Like I said, he's not a big name. He's creating a name for himself. He's when they call on his number, he is answering to the call right now. And that's amazing because before a couple weeks ago, I really didn't know who this guy was.
You did not.
I'm not going to fade that fact. I did not. Zay Flowers, on the other hand, he definitely had a quiet night. I mean, 1 catch for 11 yards. He did, right?
Yeah, he got rolled up on. He got rolled up on a hip drop tackle. And I saw a report today that the NFL was going to look at Roquan Smith's tackle on Godwin.
Yeah.
I didn't really see a hip drop tackle on that. He was tackling from the side. He brought him down. I didn't see it. But that Zay tackle was a hip drop tackle. They didn't call nothing. And he got up limping. But yet, you don't call that. I'm confused.
No, 100%. You know?
I'm confused.
It definitely seems like the Ravens, even I would say more so the stars, like Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, taking these hits that are illegal, and there's no recognition, like at all. Like with Lamar Jackson with the helmet to helmet, they call an illegal low block. I mean, don't get me wrong, 15 yards, automatic first down, the same amount of discipline that would be applied to the helmet to helmet, but it's still just the fact that the camera had a point blank shot of this hit, and they chose to ignore it. They chose to go for the low blocking that was in the background, and to me that's not right. Along with Zay Flowers with the hip drop, like come on. Like, I don't understand what the officiating staff is doing, what the NFL is doing. It's like what I said last week. Give recognition to the position, not the player. You know what I mean? The quarterback is one of the rarest position on the football team. And you have to distribute these flags, these calls evenly across the board, not just for Mahomes or the Allens. I feel like Lamar Jackson's just not getting it. He probably knows it, and he's trying to, push, shove back, say it doesn't matter. I'm still playing football, but it means like, hey, helmet to helmet, dude, it's not safe. I understand you. Like I said, you're a tough guy. Helmet to helmet is just is no. You know what I mean? And the fact that we didn't get it, or Lamar Jackson didn't get it, it's mind-boggling to me because it was clear as day on my TV when I saw it. They showed the replay, showed it like 2 times, and even if the commentator said, "Oh, that's a good hit," like, no, it's not. It was a helmet to helmet.
It was, yeah,
100% helmet to helmet. I
mean, they miss calls, man.
But that's garbage. It is what it is. That is garbage.
I get it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. He got up and kept playing, right? But that's who he is. He didn't get up and cry. He didn't get up and run to the official like some quarterbacks. You know who I'm talking about.
You know who we talking about.
Right? The man's a football player.
Tough as nails. Old Testament.
I wish you had him. You wish you had him, but you don't.
Old Testament.
You wish you had him, but you don't.
He's in Baltimore. He's here to stay. There it is. Read it and weep.
But man, for this defense, your boy showed up. Marlon showed up, 2 picks. And shout out to the defense for just being opportunistic, And again, I don't want to pound on them, man. I think they did a good job. They shut them down when they needed to. They gave up 10, and then they clamped down. They got stops, they got turnovers, and that gave the offense the time to get their rhythm going, right? And just start going off. It was pretty much over after that. But I mean, you gave up 10 in the first. You didn't give up another point till the fourth quarter. I can't be that mad about that.
That's actually pretty damn good for the Ravens defense.
Because again, bro, context matters. At that point, you're up 34-10 in the fourth quarter. Any team's gonna just, okay, they're gonna throw the ball, just sit back and just, and things are gonna happen. Okay, what they got on the onside. Okay, they got the ball back. Stuff like that happens, right? But Marlon showed up, 2 picks. The second one was beautiful. It was a beautiful pick. The first one, Baker just threw it straight to him. I don't know what he was looking at. But Baker did what Baker does, right?
Baker things.
He threw some picks. And like I said, man, as a collective group, they looked really good. Kyle Hamilton, that man's everywhere. Roquan's an animal.
Roquan.
Simpson played his butt off, man. Trenton Simpson, I like that kid. It's his first year starting. Marlon had the 2 picks. I think Wiggins played very well. Safeties still struggle. Our safeties still struggle a lot in coverage. They were giving up a lot of plays down the seams, man, and a lot of that is on the safeties. A little bit on the linebackers, maybe out of position a little bit, but that's really on the safeties. They had a lot of plays up the seams, especially to the tight end, where the safeties were just out of position. And again, man, we just can't have these communication breakdowns. But again, they gave up a lot of yards. They were ahead most of the game, so you got to expect that. And overall, I'm not going to kill this defense today. They played well enough to win. They held them to 10. They gave up 21. You can't do that. But other than that, man, look, big time Marlo showed up. He showed up. He did Marlo things. Nate Wiggins should have the most picks in the NFL, bro. That dude's dropped. He drops more picks than I've ever seen anybody drop. Like,
look, bro,
somebody need to get that boy on the jugs machine or something.
Look, that boy got legit DB hands. He need to get them sticky gloves.
He need to get something. He's showing why he's a DB and not a receiver, which everybody should know. DBs are just receivers that couldn't catch, so they put him on the other side.
Hey, that's the way it is. Look, we just saying it how it is. Because he's quick. The boy Wiggins, he young guy, awesome. He's quick. It's just when the opportunity strikes and you have a chance just to shut them down, gotta capitalize. That's all I gotta say. I'm glad you were there. It's awesome that you were there. You picked up on the read and everything. It's great. But you get that ball in your hands, my guy, you will be all right. They might even put you on offense if that's really where you want to be. I'm kidding.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
But anyway, defense. Roquan Smith, you said he was everywhere? You damn right he was. 18 tackles. 18 tackles. Kyle Hamilton right behind him, 11 tackles. Eddie Jackson, 8 tackles. Trenton Simpson, 8 tackles. The defense, I could say, did a great job this week, holding them 2 4 quarters, no points. Say, y'all not scoring on us. It ain't happening. And then the offense, I mean, I know we just got done with that, but the offense clicking, scored 17 points in each quarter that the Buccaneers scored nothing.
That's where they ran away with it, right there. That's it.
I just can't. Roquan Smith, 18 tackles.
That's Roquan.
Whew.
That's Roquan.
It was
he put a couple licks on some dudes. I'm like,
yeah, we ain't gonna talk. We ain't gonna talk about that. They even refused to show the replay. But that last hit was.
I ain't talking about not that one.
Yeah,
but like he put some licks on some dudes. That one, these guys are in a fraternity, man. They don't wish
right exactly
ill will on nobody.
Right.
It's you just don't do that. And it's unfortunate that it happened. And people, and I was watching the interviews at the end of the game with Tar Bowles and these reporters asking them, like, why'd you leave him in there? The game was over. These guys play football. They get paid to play football. It's not your job as a reporter to tell a coach, hey, why'd you leave the guy in there? They just got an onside kick. They cut it to 10. Right. I mean, they want to play. They were already down Mike Evans, who got hurt, right? He dropped a touchdown. He was already hurt. He was the best player they had. I mean, it could have happened in this. That injury could have happened in the first, second, or third. It didn't just have to happen in the fourth. That's the only reason why you're asking them this question is because it happened in the fourth. At the end of the game, they were down 10.
These guys play football. They get paid.
They play football. It is a gladiator sport. It is not a contact sport. As Vince Lombardi said, it is a collision sport. And sometimes two men colliding causes injuries.
It's not the NBA.
It's not. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it could have happened to Zay. I thank God that it didn't. That could have been Zay with that hip drop tackle. And I don't think it was a real hip drop tackle. I just think it was the way he went down.
That's right. I mean, you guys got to think about this. It's the collision with the other player first, and then it's the collision with the turf. So essentially, you're getting hit twice, really. Every single situation, the player hits you, and then you hit the ground. That's kind of it's a gladiator sport. It's kind of what it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's
unfortunate.
No, it really is.
But I mean, to put a bow on this, man, look, it was a big win for the Ravens. Ravens go to 5-2, and they got to go to Cleveland.
I'll just add this in there real quick. Ravens is on a five game win streak.
5 straight games. Started 0-2, now they're 5-2. For everybody who thought that, they couldn't turn it around, well, they proved everybody wrong, didn't they?
Proof is in the pudding.
I still want John Harbaugh gone. I really don't care because I don't think this is all on him. I still think Falele needs to not start. He's still too slow. But that wasn't a holding call on him. Just saying. But good win. Cleveland next week. But man, let's get into this other game.
Oh,
Vikings and Lions, man.
Yucks.
Vikings took their first loss of the season. It was unfortunate. It was a very exciting game, though. But the Vikings come up short. They lost 31-29 to the Lions on a last-second field goal. It was a back-and-forth game. Excuse me. Again, man, Jared Goff was going off. At one point, Jared Goff was 15 for 15. 15 of 15. Like he was perfect completion percentage. He was doing whatever he wanted to do out there. I mean, Ross St. Brown was everywhere. Montgomery was doing his thing. He was running. God, man, the Lions looked so good yesterday. Jahmyr Gibbs just went off. It was sad to see because this defense was playing so well. But I told you last week it would be a tough game. It's a division game. They were coming off the bye, coming from London, and that it wouldn't, it was going to be a tough one. Detroit's a good team.
Right.
Detroit's a good team. And they just came up short. They had a chance to win the game at the end if they could have got 3 freaking yards. 3. And got that first down, they would have won the game. Problem is, you played prevent offense. You were predictable, run, pass. Go play action on second down. Do something else. They knew it was coming. They knew what was coming. I didn't like the play call on third down. Darnold, he overshot. And I didn't know who, because if you look at that last play, Addison and Jefferson were kind of in the same area. Addison didn't know, is that for me? He almost looked like he stuck his hand out, but it went over him, and then it went over Jefferson also, so he kind of airmailed it. I think they could have ran a better play there, but I get it. Get it in your best player's hands. But again, they know that too. You got to try to outsmart the defense, man. You got to get 3 yards. You have to. You can't play a prevent offense. You have to run your offense, get that first down, seal the game. Seriously, seal the game. And they could not do it, and that's why they lost. It's unfortunate. They should be 6-0 right now, but they're not. It happens. Again, Detroit's a good team. But Detroit takes over first place, and it is, man. It's unfortunate, but it was a very exciting game. It was a fun game to watch on both sides. Both teams tried to give the game away. They did. But the Lions came out on top. Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, it did look like a real battle up until the end. I mean, Jared Goff, 22 for 25. That's pretty damn good. But I mean, also Sam Darnold, 22 for 27. Man, they were really going back and forth. You know what I mean? Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 receptions, 116 yards. But I mean, that's rushing. Aaron Jones, 14 for 93. That's not bad either. They were really, it was kind of like a shootout, actually, almost. You know what I mean? The offenses seemed to be pushing back and forth. Detroit, 3 fumbles, 2 of them they recovered. They actually lost 1. I mean, even Justin Jefferson was he was still good. 7 receptions for 81. Man, it just literally came down to, I mean, what we know in Baltimore. We've seen a lot of games end like this, 3-point deficit, last minute field goal. And, it's just, I was rooting for the Vikings, and they just couldn't pull it out right at the end. You know what I mean? Like you said, if they would have got 3 yards and weren't so predictable, they would have won that game. They would have put it away. But like you said, Detroit's a good team. Vikings coming off the bye, you know what I mean? Like you said, it'd be a tough game, and it was. It's a division game. They had a week of rest. You know what I mean? Sometimes the early bye is like a blessing and a curse, really, because they don't have the consistency of going through week to week. You know what I mean? You give them that time off. You know what I mean? And they just came up just that much, 3 points. Out of all that, I feel like if they didn't have the early bye, they probably would have won that game, really, if they didn't have the early bye and stayed consistent week to week.
Yeah, I told you I didn't like the early bye.
Right. It was weird.
They were 5-0. They were coming in hot. But that's what happens when you go over to London. They give you the option to take the bye, and they did, which is fine. But, and again, man, look, Sam Darnold's got to stop throwing damn interceptions. And again, they always come at the worst time. He always throws interceptions where we're looking to go in to score. He always throws the interception there. And it's just, God, it's backbreaking sometimes because it takes points off the board. And again, he doesn't throw that interception, the Vikings win this game. that small of a margin.
3 points, a field goal.
3 yards, man. You get 3 yards, you win the game. You don't throw that interception on the plus side of the field, you probably win that game. But I can't be mad. I mean, other than that, he played well, man. I mean, 22 for 27. You can't beat that. 259. Justin Jefferson did his thing as usual. Jalen Naylor and Jordan Addison stepped up, And Aaron Jones did his thing. It was good to see him back. He did get injured in London, but he was back and he was running strong. I like that. But this defense, man, to step into the defense, it was a little disappointing. Again, I know how good the Detroit offense is, but I thought they would be able to handle them a little bit better. They fumbled 3 times. You got to get more than just one of them.
No,
you got to get more than just one of them.
That is key. Yes.
I mean, one of them was they ran it back for a touchdown, which was huge. That was really should have been the game winner. That right there. Because it looked a little bleak before that. And man, I mean, that they came up big with that. And but yeah, you can't have a fumble twice, Well, Goff, you can't have Goff fumble twice and you don't get any of them. They were getting some good pressure on him, but they could not stop the bleeding of this pass offense. They couldn't. Again, at one point he was 15 of 15. He was 15 for his first 15. Can't have that. You got to be able to shut it down. They could not stop them. What do you think about the secondary? The Vikings have a good defense. They have a good secondary. Sometimes it's just not your day, and it's the other guy's day. Again, man, they have so many freaking weapons over there. You know what I mean? And Jahmyr Gibbs is what freaking killed us, man. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay, fine. He's one of the best receivers they got, right? Good darn receiver. You let a running back go off on you for 116 rushing and 44 receiving. Can't have that. The defense has to clamp that. You have to come up with a few stops, right? You're one of the best defenses in the league. But you know what? This has happened with Detroit and Minnesota. Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Lions, which I wish he would come to the Ravens. I wish the Ravens would hire him as their head coach. God, I wish John would just walk out the freaking door and let somebody else come in here. Stop hogging up Lamar. I'm telling you, me and John Harbaugh, we got beef. We are Peter Griffin and the goddamn chicken. Me and John Harbaugh. It's on sight when I see this boy.
Oh shit!
It's on sight. Man, Brian Johnson he's a damn good play caller, and Brian Flores has problems when they play Detroit. He knows how to scheme guys open, man. He knows how to get the best out of Jared Goff. People are saying Jared Goff is a candidate for the MVP, and you can't deny that. As good as Lamar's been playing, Jared Goff is in the conversation. He's playing well. He's no Lamar, but he's playing well. If the Ravens put it on Detroit last year, they embarrassed them. If they played this year, I think it would be a little bit closer. I don't think they would get blown out the way they did last year. I think it would be closer. Would that not be one hell of a Super Bowl?
Oh, no, that would be.
The Super Bowl that should have been last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That would have been amazing.
But yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, the defense, you gotta play better than that. You have to.
Let's see, talking about the defense. I mean, not terrible. You know what I mean? Ivan Pace, he had 10 tackles. Not the worst thing. Josh, number 44. I can't pronounce his last name.
Oh, Metellus?
Metellus, yeah. Josh Metellus, he had 8. Andrew Ginkle.
Van Ginkle.
Van Ginkle. I gotta say the Van. Andrew Van Ginkel, he had 7. Harrison Smith, 7. You know what I mean? Not the best performance. I mean, the Detroit defense, not the best performance either, but the offense knew when to capitalize. And, I mean, Jared Goff, and Gibbs was just, just a thing on the ground and through the air, and they just had no answer for it. It's like, man, I don't know if they were actually doing the same thing. I mean, it seems like they were mixing it up quite a bit, but the Vikings defense couldn't step up and actually come up with a stop for them.
Yeah. The thing, you can't let them score 4 straight possessions, touchdowns. You're not going to win the game that way.
Not at all.
They didn't.
Exactly right.
If it wasn't for that touchdown, that defensive touchdown where Montgomery fumbled, the Vikings wouldn't have even been that close to even win the game.
And those are the kind of things.
Me is, though, they got that fumble, touchdown, right? 29-28. And then the Lions get the ball back, and they get a stop. Again, offense comes out. Okay. 4-minute offense. Let's go. 4-minute offense. Get me a first down, and the game's over, and you couldn't. Get me a first down. You can't. You have to be better than that. You have to be able to get a first down.
I mean, Sam Darnold didn't do too bad. He didn't do too bad. I believe Sam Darnold did not do that bad, but with those clutch moments and those plays, especially when you get a stop and you come out, you have to capitalize. If you don't capitalize on your stops, that totally just kills your momentum. Like, you got 4 minutes to get it done and you can't, your defense just stepped up for you. I mean, they did their job. They can't come out and play offense for you. You got to make it happen. You got to, get those first downs, get to the plus side of the field, red zone, score. In this situation, field goal would have been good enough.
Bro, give me a first down and the game's over.
3 yards.
Give me 3 yards and the game is over. That's it. I ain't worried about no red zone in that situation. Look, get me 3 yards. 3. Bro, give me 3 yards.
What do you think?
And we win.
What do you think they should have did on that?
Get 3 yards. I mean, God, dirt. Come on, man. That was the difference. Man, 3 yards was the difference between a win and a loss, right?
Right.
A 1 and a 0 is binary. Either you win or you lose, right?
Black and white.
You know what I'm saying? Like Dom said, don't matter if you win by an inch or by a mile. A win is a win, right?
A win is a win. And 3 yards. That's it, 3 yards. That's nowhere near a mile, boys.
I'm just saying. Get me 3 yards.
That's about 6 steps, gentlemen. Ladies too. That's about 6 steps. That's what we needed.
For those of you who have never been on a football field, 3 yards is nothing. You can fall forward and get 3 yards. Seriously. Well, if you Derrick Henry, he's a big boy.
I mean, Derrick Henry could probably just take a jump over a little rock and get 3 yards.
I mean, yeah. I mean, 2 strides and that's 3 yards for somebody like that. But I'm just saying, it's really not that much, right? When you look at it on a football field, like 10 yards is not this should give you some context, everybody. If you've never been on a football field, try it once. For those of you who watch football, just try it once. And I know we're recording this on a Tuesday. I know we're about to get out of here. Let's put a bow on this, right? But I'm just saying it, and for context, 10 yards is not that far, but that lets you know how good you have to be to just get those 10 yards, because it's not easy, because it don't look that far. I'm not kidding you.
No, that's seriously right. I mean, I imagine
it don't look that far. And don't look that far, but when you have somebody trying to stop you from getting there,
there it is.
It becomes very difficult. But it's not that far.
No, that's right.
3 yards.
Hey, man, whatever happened to like utilizing the fullback? You know,
it's a lost art.
That's what it seems like. Art. Yeah, man. You know, I haven't seen it in a long time, and normally that's who you would call on if you need to get some smash mouth football, 3 yards or so. Big, heavy guy. You know, takes a couple guys to get him down. You know, that's what you would do to get those 3 yards.
I mean, I'm not about to sit up here and tell Kevin O'Connell how to. He's an offensive genius. But just get me 3 yards, man. Just get me 3 yards.
That's it.
You know, and again, I can't always put it on him either because the players have to execute. He could have had the right play call. And if Sam Darnold puts the ball on Justin Jefferson instead of kind of airmailing it, we're not even having this conversation. And the Vikings are 6-0.
Yeah, no, so, that's right. It is a definitely
that's kind of what it is. Yeah,
interference and gray area between the coach's call and the what the players do. That is definitely a margin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But 3 yards.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Vikings take their first loss. It's disappointing, but that's the beauty of the NFL. When you're 5-1, you just say, okay, well, now we're not going undefeated. No big deal. Let's get it next week. Vikings are in LA this Thursday to play the Rams. That should be a dub because the Rams are a mess. They don't really have any weapons. That should be a win. I'm going to chalk that one up as a win so the Vikings can get back on track. We'll probably have something for y'all on Friday because the Vikings play on Thursday, hoping we can do that. But you'll see that video if it goes up. We'll just cover the Vikings game on Friday. Or, I don't know, it depends, brother. You know, if you want to do it, what do you think? Thursday? It depends on when the game ends. Maybe a Thursday night, a quick recap or?
That sounds fine.
Okay. Maybe we'll do it on Thursday. But yeah, hey, look, to put a bow on this week, disappointing with the Vikings. Ravens got a win. Ravens are in Cleveland this week. That should be a dub. I think the Vikings should get a win against the Rams. And man, hopefully next week everything, will be right in the world again. Right?
No, that's right.
Ravens win 6 straight. The Vikings can get back on track. And unicorns and rainbows.
No, that's it. I mean, there's still 2 great teams, I would say. Vikings 5-1, still upsetting loss. Ravens bounce back from a 0-2 start. I'd say both of these teams are looking, pretty damn good at the moment. You know what I mean? A few mistakes here and there, shortcomings. We wish that the coaches, officiating staff, the NFL players did things just a little bit differently. But still, you know what I mean? 5-1 and 5-2 NFL teams is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, there's teams out there. I mean, don't get me started on Panthers. Sorry, but still, we're not looking at those kind of situations. Yes, it sucks. It sucks a lot. You know what I mean? You're lucky for your team to keep winning, but right now, both of these teams have a positive record. They have strong I'm sorry, I messed up there. They have strong offenses. The Vikings have a strong defense. The Ravens, next week, guys, keep that energy that you brought in to Tampa and, keep that going. I really want to change my opinion of you guys because, hey, Humphrey, I'm looking at you, man. Good job with the 2 picks. You know what I mean? And Roquan Smith, you was everywhere. Kyle Hamilton, you were everywhere. Keep it up. You know what I mean? Vikings, bounce back, guys. You're 5-1. Even, what was it? It was some years ago with the Patriots. What, they thought they were gonna have an undefeated season? They get to the Super Bowl and they lose. So hey, one loss really isn't gonna determine everything unless you're the Patriots in that year. But still, do not let it fall on you. You're a great team, And shoot, I look forward to the next game next week.
Go get these dubs. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Man, if you could, please subscribe, like the video, and subscribe. It really helps us out. I appreciate everybody who's watched it.
Like the video.
And we're gonna get up out of here. Look, everybody have a wonderful week. Peace, love, and blessings. Thank you guys again. We love you, and we out.
That's right. Later, guys.